Okay, hi to everyone. Let's start the stream. So I have a few SNGs here as usual, and one MTT here, 25 euro. Probably still going to be some registrations coming into that one. It basically has like 1,250 euro guaranteed, so probably around 50 players in the end, or a bit more. There seems to be sometimes some layout. Yeah, what's the term? Uh, Overlay. Yeah, that's the word. Sometimes in these Unibet tournaments. Oh, let's see. Late registration and re-entry are available for the first 10 blind levels. And we are currently at 4th blind level, so it's going to be for good time. Interesting flop on the top left. Suppose we can make small sort of value bet, as our hand is going to be the best one relatively often, and that way we don't at least give free turn cards. And we can definitely get some weaker a highs to call, maybe some queen jack sometimes, or something along those lines. And of course, defending the suited king against the min-raise and call. And we hit the top set, but we are really deep, so I'm just going to try to. Oh, he raises. That's kind of interesting. I would kind of want to raise, but it's so unlikely that Villain actually has hand that he can continue, so I think I just call it here and hope there is no spade at least. I think if he continues betting, we want to just raise here and try to build the pot bigger if possible. Because we are so deep. So, and now we have quad, so it's even less likely. Unless he happens to have like pocket fours or pocket eights, which would be quite awesome, but it's really tough to get call here, I suppose. I don't really know what sizing I should use. I think I want to use kind of not too big, so that if he has some sort of 8x, he would still be willing to call with it. And if he has like pocket 8s, I think he's going to check shove probably decently often. But yeah, majority of the time, I suppose he will have some busted draw probably. Probably tier. Just wanted to just call the flop so that we give him a bit more possibility to be bluffing with something. And then when he continues, it kind of somewhat increases at least the possibility that he actually has something. So decided to raise 10. Let's see. seems to be. Actually, haven't remembered. I already thought about this on the previous time, or was it time before that? But I was talking about rebooting my router, and I actually remember that I still haven't done that. So, oh well, it's easy to remember, but then you kind of forget it when you just kind of. I don't mind barreling here, but I'll just take the free river and see if we happen to improve to something. I mean, AX, we probably don't get AX to drop fold most runouts, even with 3 barrels usually, so. I think I pot size bet. I probably still have to call with some backdoor equity and middle pair, but not hugely, not that eager about it. Let's put it that way. Yeah, luckily he was just big fish making stupid bet. The main issue is that most of the time, if the villain continues betting, we just have to fold pretty much. So unless if we turn flush draw and he bets, we can still call decently sizable bet. Like basically, even close to pot size is kind of fine, because you might still have like 2 pair trip outs as well. So this guy min raises from small blind. Well, not that great hand, but I suppose for that price. And most of the time, these players behind will be just flat calling. Just flat calling as well. So, and now he shoves. That's kind of funny. Funny bet sizing, pre-flop and flop. Yeah, I'm just going to check back here with my second pair and turn trips, which is most of the time going to be the best hand. This is just mandatory value shove. He has a lot of queen X here as well, so let's see what happens. Of course, sometimes he might have like 9-10 type of hand, for example, or something like that, and we can lose, but most of the time not. And as we saw, he didn't even need the top pair to call, so all is good, so to say, in that line. And in here, I suppose we can lead, but it's really dry flops, so it's kind of tough to get that many hands to give action. So let's go for the check. And now starts betting. It's still pretty dry flops, so I'm just going to bet half pot. Our hand is very often good here. And on the top right, we actually flop the absolute nuts. And I just try to check the showdown here, unless I improve on the bottom right. Oh, we actually don't have the best hand. Kind of interesting spot here, but I think most of the time when we lane c-bets this board against 2 people, he has something. So I will just go for the check raise and hope he's willing to continue. Not the greatest card, but obviously we are still going to be pretty happy to stack off. And most of the time, if he had set or 2 pair, I think he would probably shove here anyway, so I'm not hugely concerned about the board pairing. Especially when he doesn't snap call, so unless he's slow rolling, we are ahead pretty much. he folded, so probably had some sort of straight draw or maybe some second pair or something. Maybe small chance that he had overpair and added to hero folds now, because now he lost also against top pair raising the flops. So on the bottom left we have lane call raising. I was thinking about squeezing it here, but well, let's just fold. It wouldn't be a horrible idea to raise to something like 800 or so. We have decent blockers for it, but of course it's kind of tough often when you don't really know about the villains at all, and it's still quite early opposition race. We have some showdown value here with the a7 and gut shot, which might be or might not be good, so I think I peeled here. And ace is good in a way that we now actually beat something like 9x type of hand that could easily value bet turn. And against this sizing we definitely can't fold the ace. But he had the trips, but yeah, it took a pretty easy decision against that small of a bet. There is also some possibility that he's still value betting like 9x type of hand, so probably he shouldn't be, but it's possible. Anyway. I don't mind checking back the weakest AX hands on the bottom right, so we can have some AX in the checking range. I was planning to bet a call on the bottom right, but he makes it over pot size, so I suppose we can be pretty happy to fold that. And pocket 2 on the top left against well BP shove in the NAS it's unfortunately not going to be quite plus EV to call. And pretty crappy flop for my hand. Just going to check fold. We have some showdown value anyway. And this guy calls flop with the 6 high. Wow. These guys can be funny sometimes, but at least we should try to remember that we probably don't want to be single betting and not bluffing that much against this guy once he makes call like that. On the bottom left, I think I check back. We don't have that much need for protection. Of course, we can see bet as well for value, it's totally fine, but I would kind of more prefer to see bet like pocket 9s, for example, because that needs a bit more protection overall. Well, 6 is kind of okay, that he's probably not value betting 6x at least. And there are 7x busted draws, and this is the problem of raising. We might face this raise check limp 3, but so yeah, there's also busted draws. So I think I kind of probably need to go out here with all the possible draws. King 4, it's going to be close in the NAS, I would say, but the issue is that most of the time people are not going to be active enough in their shoving for the call to be good. This guy really loves to limp, it seems.